You know who I am, and you've met me. Some of you have not. I'm a lifelong resident of the 97th District. Born and raised in Vassar, Michigan. I went to a public high school. I went on to a public college at Delta College. Then I went to Saginaw Valley State University and got my undergrad and my graduate degree there. All in the 97th District. I raised my children here. Not to be morbid, I'll probably die here in the 97th District. So it means a lot to me. I'm a product. Oh, by the way, just found my glasses today. They've been gone. I'm going to set them down. Pray that I pick them back up when I leave here today. I finally got to see after 3 weeks. Anyway, so I'm a product of the 97th District. My home of our ideas are pretty close, but the direction we go to get to those decisions are quite a bit different. I've worked in child welfare for 30 years. I work with teenage boys and girls, not in a school setting, but a residential setting. I know what is going on with our child welfare in the state of Michigan. I know what is going on with our foster care in the state of Michigan. And I know that the state of Michigan is in trouble already. And I bring up foster care for a specific reason. I hear a lot of people say, well, instead of an abortion, we'll just have a baby and we'll send it to foster care. Our foster care system is broken right now, today. It's going to be broken tomorrow. We're not investing the right kind of money, the dollars, and we're not investing the right type of people to fix our foster care system. So that's one of the things that we can talk about when it's Roe v. Wade is we have a troubled system as we speak right now. We're being sued. The state of Michigan is being sued. And so we do have a lawsuit. We're getting through that. But it all has to do with how our child welfare system is broken. So I did that for 30 years. I just retired about 3 weeks ago. Yes. Oh my God. And I'm doing full-time campaigning right now. Also for 31 years, I'm a police officer for the city of Vassar and have been. So I've spent my entire lifetime advocating for others, for those who can't advocate for themselves, have children, families. I understand where our field systems are, especially in Tuscola County, Saginaw County, and I want to take that to Lansing. So that's a little history about me. My wife owns a small business. She is a nationally certified therapist, and she works with children and families too. So definitely we're in the realm of working with folks who have been traumatized, and we understand that. So I think I bring a unique quality and opportunity to Lansing and to represent us here in Tuscola County. So the 97th District is a little bit bigger than Tuscola County. It also includes a lot of Saginaw County in the form of Frankenmuth, Bertrand, Tamath Townships, Milwaukee, Freeland, a little bit of Bay County with Auburn, and a little bit of Genesee County down by Clio. So it's a big area. It includes most of Tuscola County with the exception of Mayville. So, and that's part of Lapeer and so on. So the campaign, man, we've been hitting a lot of parades. I think we've done 5 parades now. We have another one coming up on Labor Day in Fairgrove. Someone said they're from Fairgrove. Yeah. And we just had one in Millington. That was a great experience. What a lot of people. Wow, that's just a great opportunity to get out and talk to people. My niece brought a little bearded dragon that she was the superstar of this parade. They're like, Paul who? Who's that guy? Oh, look at the dragon. So anyway, it was just great. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. But I got to tell you, even in parades, I get asked this question. Are you an R or D? I want to know, are you a Republican or Democrat? I was lining up for one parade, for instance, and someone asked me that question. It doesn't say Democrat on there. Are you an R or D? I said, well, I'll let you figure it out for yourself. I said, why don't you ask me some questions? And so he started asking me questions. And I told him where I grew up. I told him where I went to church. Church was a fun one. I said, I went to St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Vassar. He goes, Dad, you're a Lutheran? I said, yeah. He goes, what synod? And I said, the Shiite Synod. That's the Wells Lutheran. He goes, Wells, does your pastor know that you're a Democrat? I said, yes, he knows. His mom and dad are Democrats. And his mind was, he couldn't grasp. And so when I talked about my law enforcement background and guns, because no one's going to steal my guns, I said, no one's stealing mine either. But we got to talk about guns and safety and training and how to be safe. I also teach a CPL class, how people can legally carry a concealed weapon on their body or on the person or in their car and so on. And then how to use that. I hate to say it this way, but when I talk to my class, how to shoot and kill somebody. That's heavy. That's beyond the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says, yeah, you can own a weapon, you can carry a weapon, but you have to be trained, well-regulated. You have to understand. And there's a time and a place for certain type of weapons. I'll talk about that, and I go there with folks. I never hunted with an AR-15. I work police duty. I have used an AR-15. I'm trained to use it. I've trained hours and hours and hours to use that weapon. Not to scare people and not to shoot animals. It's strictly to kill people. That's what that gun is made for. And that was made for war. It was made to be used by professionals. And I look at it just like a race motorcycle. I ride a motorcycle too. But I don't ride the crotch rocket race bikes because those are meant for a racetrack. And I really enjoy riding motorcycles, but I don't think I'd ever put a race bike on a regular road. It's just not a safe thing to do. So, back to the campaign. I've been to a lot of Rotary meetings, some chamber meetings, all of the council meetings, really enjoying that opportunity. I get to go to, I went to some senior centers. I'm learning how to play pinochle. I've never done that before. Played a lot of hands of euchre. We're just trying to get the message out. The only way that I'm going to win here in the 97th district in Saginaw County and Tuscola County is to have some Republicans vote for me. And I'm just going to share a couple quick stories with you. I went to a meeting about this size, this many people. They were all Trump supporters. Every single one, some with the MAGA hats on and so on. And I went, oh, boy, it's going to be a tough night. So I got talking, and they said, you have 5 minutes to talk. Well, 5 minutes went by, and somebody asked me a question. 10 minutes went by, 15 minutes went by, half hour went by, 45 minutes went by. We're still talking. We're engaged. We're agreeing on most everything. There's a couple little things they didn't agree with me on, but they were like, all right, whatever. When it was all done and said, I got a standing ovation. They took my signs they put in their yard, and they said, this is going to be the first time I ever voted for a Democrat. And that's the message we need to hear, right? That was one meeting. I was very proud of that. I left. I was on a high, whatever. That was great. And I went to some other areas where it wasn't so friendly. But the bottom line is, most of us agree on most of the subject matters. I think someone brought that up earlier. That's very true. We just might have a little different way of getting there. One other just quick anecdotal story is I went for some endorsements. One of the endorsements I have is through the Michigan Education Association, MEA. Very proud of that. My dad was a teacher for 30 some odd years. I'm not sure how many. I have two brothers that teach. I should have been a teacher. I missed that one, but whatever. And I have their endorsements, so I'm very proud of that. And there are some other endorsements. And one of them I went for was, believe it or not, I was filling out any form they give me. You fill out a form, you submit it, and they say, come on in, we're going to ask you some questions. So I did, and it was in Bay City. It was for the Realtors Association. What do I know about Realtor Association? I don't know anything about the Realtor. I studied, though. So I went before their board, I answered their questions, and I just was being me and talked about what I believe in, how, where I grew up and so on. Anyway, at the end of it, they sent me a letter and said, we didn't choose you. But we didn't choose your opponent either. It's the first time we've never chose a Republican. We just couldn't not choose this year. You did such a great job. So there's a message to be delivered out there is what I'm getting at. And I think the more people we talk to, the more people who will vote Democrat this year. Roe is super important. So we talked about Planned Parenthood. I'm also seeking their endorsement. But we talked about, what we didn't talk about is women's health care. Because Planned Parenthood is more than just the right of a woman to choose, but it's also about health care. And that supplies so much health care for our women and young people and or married people. It provides necessary health care. We take that away and we chip away at that. We're chipping away at the health of our women. And we can't allow that to happen. So we really need to support that. That's what people are saying. So they're tugging on my shirt. Where do you stand on Roe v. Wade? Where do you stand on weapons? And what are we going to do about our economy? That's what I'm hearing primarily. Now, there's some other things, too. But that's the majority of people, they want to hear that. And then someone said to me, what are you going to do with these 87,000 armed people that are going to come knocking on my door? I said, well, then fill out your paperwork correctly. And they won't come knocking on your door. No one's going to knock on your door. But we have fun with that. We talk about that. We have a little fun because they come in with the talking points of some of the national news organizations. And then once you ask one or two questions, well, then everything falls apart. And then it's fun because then we get to talk. So that's who I am. That's where I'm coming from. I'm out there knocking on doors. We're going to do Birch Run in Tamath Township next week. We have the parade coming up. What else? There's a big food giveaway I'm going to be at tomorrow in Vassar. That's a great program that I pitched for my wife here. She started this with the school district. But anyway, so there's an opportunity there. And I'm meeting with the governor next week. I'm pretty excited about that. I've been to a couple dinners with her right now. She wouldn't have known I was there. 500 people, whatever. But this one's going to be a little more intimate, roundtable discussion. So I would like to bring to her, because I've already submitted some questions, but bring to her some of our thoughts here, our concerns, and how we can support her to continue her governorship here. So, there you go. Questions?
Are you showing up on Tuesday?
Tuesday's the day. Yes, with the gov. Yeah.
They talk about the same thing. You don't have intercity Saginaw, do you?
I don't have intercity. Thanks for bringing that. So Saginaw County includes those towns I was talking about, then the rural areas of Buena Vista, the rural areas of Bridgeport, which, if you think about it, there are some. There's a lot of walking involved with that. Thankfully, I own a motorcycle, so the gas prices aren't too terrible to getting out there and knocking on a few doors. But that's what people want to talk about right now, too, gas prices, which our president doesn't have anything to do with gas prices. I know you brought that up. I want to be real careful, because if they go up, then we're going to get blamed for it.
Are both of you new at this? Or is there an incumbent?
My opponent?
Are you facing an incumbent or a new guy?
No, I'm glad you brought that up, too. So this is a brand new district. The incumbent that would have been coming in lost this primary. So now it's a guy who's ran for this position before and lost in the primaries, and now he won the primary, so he and I are going to run. We're both from the same town. I think I said this earlier. He's a nice guy, whatever. Not whatever. He's a nice guy, beautiful family, and we know each other since we were kids. Matthew Bierlein, yeah. And so what oh gosh, I can't believe I didn't say this. This is so exciting. So I'm trying to set up some public forum. So we can sit down and talk with whomever, his side, Republicans, Democrats, independents, the ones we really need to talk to. More importantly, I want to go out and talk to his people. And so I've invited him to do some public forums with me. I want to start in Vassar. That's where we both live, at the library. From there, I'd like to move to Saginaw County, to Caro, to anywhere. I'll talk in a barn. It doesn't matter to me. I'll talk wherever someone will listen to the two of us. I think we'll do fine with that. I'm not afraid to talk about, the subject matter, and two, I'm not afraid to talk to him about it either. So, thank you.
We can probably set that up here in the library, don't you think, Vicki?
Yeah, we're already ready, whenever we get to do it.
Good.
Aaron, the librarian, will absolutely.
All right. Great. I did talk to librarian in Vassar. I thought libraries are kind of the best place to bring some public forum out there. I don't want to call them debates. We're really not going to debate. We're going to give our positions. We're going to defend our positions. We're going to be able to give
The format. I think she uses the legal and the voters format.
even better. I don't even know what that means. By the way, Vicki, vote411.org. 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 That's a great organization that gives all of our candidates, we had to defend our position. They asked us several questions. Roe v. Wade, obviously, guns and education, and a lot of good questions. And we gave those answers. Now, as of a few weeks ago, my opponent hasn't answered those yet. Maybe he has now. I haven't checked lately. But that'll show the differences of where we stand and what we believe in.
And vote 411. Also, if we don't get to be in the voter guide because of what the level is, because they only do national stuff, it is online. is so.
Yes,
411.
is great.
Anybody that does, I got a call from the league.
Very easy to use too.
I got a call from the league that a lot of people hadn't turned theirs in. So and
Okay.
Bob was one that did not, and I called them, but I don't know if they caught on. But the deadline is approaching on that, for them to get their information.
Just
Yeah, I just want to say that, if I was Bierlein, I wouldn't do that with you. The reason is basically that, and if he does, he's courageous because again, the Republicans don't talk about issues. And if you can get him to do that, it's kudos to him in a way too, but that's what you need, that's exactly what you need.
Well, I'll tell you this much. After he won his primary, I called him right away, congratulated him, let him know that I'm looking forward to a spirited campaign. Then we had coffee. I said, let's go have some coffee uptown. We went uptown, had a little coffee, and basically we just chatted it up a little bit. We didn't get into issues really, but I think now it's that time. So if he and his campaign will agree to do that, boy, do I look forward to that. And I'll let everybody know. I do have a Facebook page. I do have a web page that we're putting together, and I've been doing some TikToks too. So TikToks are just these miniature, if you don't know and if you haven't used them, it's like YouTube. They're just short little videos. You can do 15 seconds, 30 seconds. You can do 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's a lot of fun. It just gives me an opportunity to talk to you all just like I am now, but it's talking to a lot of people all at the same time. So I'm using my personal life a little bit to talk about issues. For instance, I'm a beekeeper. My wife and I are beekeepers. And so I did one this morning about agriculture and about how important bees are, and then tie everything back to a subject matter of some sort. I ride a Harley, so I'm going to do something about safety and driving and our roads, our damn roads.
I got a Honda, okay?
Honda's fine, 2 wheels is great. Not a problem with that. I started there.
Yeah, you got it, I don't see you ride it though.
So anyway, webpage, Facebook page, TikTok, and we're just getting the message out as much as we can. Now, my opponents, the 3 that were in the primary before, and there's a lot of people, they send out mailers. A lot of ink on a piece of paper that most people
Throw away, yeah.
do right there, and I'm one of them. Now I kind of look at them to see, I pay attention a little bit more now, but basically I'm still recycling. And I really don't want to do that if I can help it. If there's a way to get the message out more than an inked piece of paper that gets thrown away, then I want to do that. And that's what I'm trying to do. There's not much time left. There's less than 3 months to go. And early voting starts at the end of September. So if we're a month away, we're 5 weeks away from the first votes being cast.
Yeah.
In person's the best,
In person's the best.
I think.
I've learned that I've voted at my kitchen table the last 2 series. I've never done that before. Wow, you can sit there and research as you're voting. I feel like a more informed voter when I do it that way. Although I do like to show up in person, I get
Well,
to
that's
say
what I
hi to
mean,
people.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Coming and talking to somebody instead
Yeah.
of sending a flyer out.
Yeah.
I just,
Thank you. So again, we're hitting doors. We're knocking on doors, talking to people, going through neighborhoods.
Mona hits the door.
Mona hits some doors. That's 1,000. Boy, yeah, look at that. So if I'm out and about in your neighborhood, say hello. I just noticed there's some signs in the back room there. Those signs are doing us no good sitting in that
Yeah,
back room.
they gotta go out.
So we gotta get them out. I have some bigger, larger signs now. They're yay, whatever, 3x4, 4x4, I can't remember. And we're just starting to put those out. I'm gonna be real strategic where I get those throughout our Saginaw County and Tuscola County. But I do have some of the Whitney signs, and I do have some Paul signs.
And you have some door hanger signs. Do you have?
I have some door hangers. I just
Yeah,
gave out
because
2 that we can.
we're gonna
Yes,
need
Nikki.
to try to do some knocking this weekend,
Yeah, okay.
and we would, if we can get,
Not during the convention.
yeah, it must not be this week, must be.
Where is in this incredibly weird district you're in, where are your highest numbers?
Frankenmuth. Frankenmuth. Yeah, that's the highest number. Saginaw County is going to be the highest number.
So you may need help from us going to those places.
So I go to the Saginaw Democratic Party meetings too. They're very busy. Now they have a lot going on. They're county commissioners. There's a lot of them on the ticket this year. And when they have their meetings, just like this, They have their candidates come in. They have their elected officials come in. So all the elected officials talking, just where we are in the state. And then us candidates go in there and do our little 30-second, 4-minute spiel, whatever they give us for time. And obviously I can't stick to 2 minutes. But yeah, I would say Saginaw County for the most is right now. It's the Milwaukee area, that whole Thomastown, out where Walmart is on Bay Road, Saginaw Valley State University. That's all part of our district now. Really weird. That's a big U.
What's your population?
100,000, I think it is. Yeah, 100,000. All right. And lastly, just to wrap up, what we need to remember too is a vote for Paul is a vote for all.
Yeah.